What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? Good. Mike's not good. Double checked there. Well, didn't double check. I never checked in the first place. I started my intro and I'm like, I should probably check. So yeah, it's 1:06 p.m. Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Doing a little joint celebration with my parents and my sister and brother-in-law, who's a father as well. Um, and some cookies. I make cookies for my dad. I don't know if it'd be weird to get something for my brother-in-law. He can just have some. Just gonna get out of Netflix here. So I just did something that was fun, but nothing like amazing or so there's the THX sound. It's like it goes up the tone and like bass is going and everything. I was just looking at my speakers and like, oh yeah, these are THX certified. And it's like I haven't heard the THX sound on them yet, so I threw it, pulled it up on YouTube. I don't know if it had like the right quality. It was like HD in brackets, so I thought it sounded pretty good. I turned up my subwoofer a little bit. Glorious. And hopefully I can get like the maximum enjoyment of it with the minimum annoyance of my neighbors. It's set up in my apartment perfectly. It's in the middle. It's against my bedroom wall, so it's not against the neighbor's wall, and it's on my desk. And I didn't do it because of the sound, like to soften the vibrations. But right where I wanted to put it on my desk, there's this thing for routing cables underneath the desk, like a little hole that you pop cables up there. And I think it had a cover on it or something, but it was the subwoofer. The profile is just so close to the bottom of whatever it's sitting on. It was like rocking around, so the feet were actually touching the ground. So I got like I don't know if it's Kleenex or napkins, but some sort of soft paper product under each of the 4 feet. So that's probably gonna like dampen the vibrations too. So that wasn't intentional for making it sound not transfer, but it's definitely gonna have a good and like I can hear people like playing movies or TV shows or whatever like really loud out on my balcony. It's bothering me. I don't think it's bothering my neighbors. This is really not awesome building. Like if you look it up, it's actually advertised as having like thick concrete walls. It's like soundproof apartment. There's other there's another place that had a 2 bedroom. The heaters looked like a water radiator instead of boiler. Looked a lot older there. Just cheaper for 2 bedroom there than a 1 bedroom here. And they didn't have like thick concrete, super thick concrete soundproof walls advertised, so I wouldn't see them. You could actually hear your neighbors more of it. This is awesome. But yeah, it shouldn't take too long because I'm getting picked up at 2:45. I should quit yapping and start playing. Yesterday was a very productive day. I got a lot done at my apartment. Landlord finally said hi to me. I've been over there twice, and like I knew like he was like first time I got there, they had like their front and back doors open for like cross use, and I didn't see anybody, but like when I left, I could hear them. And then a couple of days ago, I went over with my dad and did some transporting stuff back and forth, cleaning supplies there mostly, and empty tote pack. They're all packed now. I mean, but yeah, like when we left, I knew he was like in the place. He was like sitting on like a chair, couch, and ripping up like some sort of paper or growth around. But I was kind of like just being like, oh well, it's too. Not even gonna like get up and say hi. I didn't really want to go knock on the door because like mixed feelings about the guy. Like he's been nothing but like super nice and awesome since we've started talking, but he's had two really miserable property managers, and that building's like really gross. Probably, yeah, at least the back part where I had my apartment. I don't know what the basement or crawl space is like under the rest of the building, but like I kind of not up to building code, and it's glad to be out of there. It's probably good for my health. All that mold and mildew. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking like, oh, like if I've given him like $25,000 over the course of like 4 years, like cheap for rent, but like still, it's a lot of money. At least he can be come over and introduce. I finally did yesterday. It was really awkward. I got there. There's like finally the first time like they weren't inside the place, and also I was already aware that his wife's mother was staying with him because he's like, oh, I see you got most of your stuff. We could you want us to finish the cleaning? Like my wife's mother like use the space, and I had plans to steam clean. Clean the carpet, the rugs that I have there, but I think I might just throw them out because last time I used the steam cleaner on them, it really didn't do that much, and I had them sent to Carpet Wizard or some sort of can't remember the name of them cleaner when the uh, contractors doing renovations were inside working on my windows, and they put a tarp down over the rug, but it was just like solid mud and crap and stuff. And yeah, so like I was thinking about like a replacement at first. I didn't. I thought it was stain. I thought you could clean that shit out. But I cleaned it with and when those carpet they did a great job. Like that's off to them. Give them your business. And I was thinking about actually taking them back there because like I got it back. Like you stick your nose right up to it and smell nice and fresh. Like even both sides of the rug. And now it's got some weird, gross smell to it, like really musty and shit. I have some rugs that are newer that I got from Walmart, and I guess I didn't have them there long enough for them to get gross because they still like if you stick your nose up to them, it's kind of weird. Stick your nose up to stuff. How you can learn about it. Yeah, they smell sort of like leather or rubber, like sort of like new shoes or something. Like it smells like something that's brand new, so they're not gross. Um, Plan was I was going to use that space to steam clean it. Maybe that's what I told him. But like I don't know. It's probably not even a good idea. It's probably a waste of time, especially with my back. I don't really want to exert myself doing something that's not even going to do a good job cleaning. So either going to throw them out or send them to the cleaner, or maybe I'll sell them. I'll tell them, tell whoever buys them, like sell them cheap and say, like, yeah, just take them to the carpet cleaner because I have steam cleaned these and I can't get the smell of my gross apartment. Anyways, show on the road. I've been screaming for 9 minutes. Only in less than 2 hours. Sure. Yeah, yesterday I was getting tired and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stay up. And I went to bed. I did kind of want to stream, play some Apex. So I didn't get any daily challenges in yesterday. Just looking around for my controller. Here on the charging dock. I'm gonna move that eventually. But so I got my old entertainment stand where my current coffee table is gonna go. My current coffee table is kind of falling apart. I got an exact same model from IKEA, ordered and waiting to be delivered. And I also got two bookcases. I might only use one and sell the other one Probably get like a good price for it. I could probably even get more than the full price because it costs like $40 to ship one unit or one product or six products. It's the exact same price. Or you got to drive all the way to Toronto. So I could like look at the full price with tax and add like $5-10 on it, or whatever portion of my $39 shipping fee was, divided up by how many things I got. And I'd say that's a fair price to ask. But again, I may have enough books and stuff that I end up using them both because they're not the tallest. They don't have backs and sides the whole way down, but that's fine. I have books that are too small and like pop out the edge sides. I'll just get some book ends or whatever. I should have actually got some from IKEA because they're only like $4. That was the Staples yesterday. Exact same, like not the same design, but like same quality. $16 for a book. And I think that was for one, and then it was like $4 for two. Get rid of someone designed the skin for Havoc, and I don't know if it's the animatic, but it looked like it was based off of this skin. It was really nice design, but it was also like, oh, that's awesome. Kind of like derivative. So one of them, not like the guy was like, don't look at my original design. Like, he's just like, oh, these things are more legendary. Actually, the models. What was the reply was to them from not you. Someone very clueless on Twitter. So there's a thread. Someone said something I agreed with. I probably liked their tweet, and then some douchebag showed up. Said something really stupid. What did you say? Okay, it's someone who's not a huge fan of like streaming service, like Star Trek. I'm not a huge fan of it either. Sounds like this person might be more of a fan of Star Trek Discovery. I was not a fan of that, but the writing was garbage. They just relied too much on like special effects. Science fiction? Well, it doesn't have to be scientifically accurate, even though like Star Trek: The Next Generation was really fucking cool because like a lot of it was like medical science. It wasn't exactly. It was really cool. Discovery. Like, oh, we're seeing signals all over the galaxy. It's like all at the same time. It's like, what about like the speed of light? How's that work? But yeah, so like they didn't like the whole streaming part of it, and then someone's like, "That's not what this post is about. It's about giving to the Black Lives Movement. All you had to do was add hashtag Star Trek United Kids to your highly misplaced criticism, and you would have made them diversify their funds by a whole dollar. You're not making them do it. Okay, I'm just pausing, reading a tweet. You're not making them do anything when they're like, oh, retweet it, retweet that, retweet our hashtag, and we'll donate money to this guy. You're not making them do that. They chose to put that offer on the table. You're not making them. But anyways, we have made them diversify their funds by a whole dollar. But you can't even do that. Shame, sad face. It's like, if they weren't, my reply was, if they weren't virtue signaling, they would just give it money to other companies. But their opportunities to say that because if you go through Twitter, I don't know if it's every time someone uses the hashtag, but it probably is. It just be a bit just the hashtag, and then like the bots using that their Star Trek would reply, have like a link to something like Star Trek. You're using it at the time. It's disgusting. And so I was like, yeah, I was like, don't act like they still don't have control over their money, which is like, you're not making them do anything. And he just replied a gift of like some girl yawning. Like, my phone went off, and I got a notification. I went to read, like, wasting my time with that. So I replied to him, said, to him, like, if you go through the thread, you can see who is replying to who. I said, your douchebaggery show. And then the person who I agreed with shows up and says, thanks for telling me, I'll put it away right away. Oh, snap. And then another kid. It's like, that's like if like you saw like someone harassing someone else and you showed up and the person being an asshole, you're like, hey, stop that. And the victim, like, it's like, okay, I'll stop that. No, not you. Clearly not looking at them. Like, perfect metaphor because you can see who's talking to who, and granted, it'd be like exact same thing being there in person. Looking at the person you're talking to. Like, okay, so I get chatty. It gets confusing when there's lots of at handles in the reply. Maybe I just need more coffee. Well, sure, but I don't even look at the at who's in it. Like you can, but I actually just recently started looking at that and like removing people. It wasn't actually like, some tweets that like I didn't want them to get a notification for it. Um, but seriously, like you get a notification for a tweet, you look at it, and but then you scroll up and you look at what is that a reply to? Just being kind of a goof for being dopey. That they have no shame, but that's fine. Let that other person be like, you should be ashamed for having your misplaced criticism and not just using the hashtag, making them donate. if you hate CBS and you hate the streaming shit and you wish it was just on a regular cable network that you probably already have on cable if you have cable, or maybe like Netflix or Hulu or some other me and like 99% of the world are close to, I'm sure, is probably not a huge fan of there being like 10 different streaming services. It sucks. Like, you put all this shit on Netflix. Still haven't activated it. You get it. Well, as long as I've cleared the confusion and she knows I'm not calling her bitch. It wasn't being a huge bitch, but it's just fucking lazy and just like a boring thing. So, give me a notification. Wait, that didn't come out my phone. I'm gonna try. Telephone. Oh, it's probably something. Third time is a charm. There it goes. I'll hear that dang if I get a message. Just on Twitch though, not on YouTube, because YouTube's stupid. I had to use the stream key and manually add it. I can't sign in on Restream using YouTube, or it looks like the chat would work, but the video and audio feed doesn't actually make it to YouTube for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Maybe YouTube doesn't like me and they some weird lock in, but the block doesn't apply to the stream. The stream key is exactly like if I went into OBS and connected OBS to YouTube. I don't know what it. Maybe it's because like I swear and stuff, like you get demonetized for saying. There's the I don't know what the organization, the group that like handles like radio and television and stuff, recently said that it's acceptable to go on the radio. So like obviously, we're not like back in the old days. It's effectively quiet. Anyways, yes. Get the mic here. Hop into the firing range before impact. Volume range. Of course, I'll mute my mic because I got my strings going. Someday, maybe I'll get a good pair of the or maybe the PS5 will be able to do virtual surround through a regular set of earbuds. I think I might have read that it will. So, pretty sure the Xbox does. I know you can do it on PC. But Sony, they want to be like, oh, you should buy our gold or platinum or whatever headsets. Want that. So away we go. Just give me a moment, and I will start the fire range and I'll go around.
Yo, Jordan. Yo, Jordan. This nigga Christian texted me, said he's having a fucking no Father's Day cookout.
Pop the smoke, make 'em broke.
Yo. Wow.
Let's break some circuits.
I'm just a lazy bastard, but I need to go see him. Yeah, well, fuck it. No bullshit. He might try to give me a check, though, niggas. I might just... I mean...
This is your champion. Pain, death. Nothing phases me.
If not, no cap, tomorrow for sure, because the bank will be open. I'll just tell him to go get the cash.
Trust me, we want to land over here. You can't beat the view from up here!
Might give you a check. Yeah, go ahead.
Backpack here. Level 1.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Next ring is fire. Gotta hop up here. Select fire.
Attention. First blood.
First blood. FNGs always go first.
R99 Longo here.
New kill leader appointed.
Keep eyes on the new kill leader. Shield battery here.
Dibs. Ultimate accelerant here.
Of all the fights, this was a particular. It was a really good one. Is what I'm trying to say.
Hostile right here.
Warning. Ring closing.
I can see that the ring's moving on the map. Making contact. Hostile over there.
actually me.
I think we should land here.
Haven't we landed yet? What's the holdup?
Let's land here. You can't beat the view from up here. First kill. On the bright side, crossing box. We should probably meet up. We're too spread out.
We are not all in the ring. This will lead us to victory.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at. Fire! Down.
Havoc here. Optics here. Sniper. Longbow here. A few more meters to the ring, and still a minute to go. There's a new kill leader. Rings nearby. 45 seconds for the shield here. Level 2. Knockdown shield here. Level 2.
Half a minute. Ring is near.
New kill leader. I'll make sure they don't sneak up on us. 10 seconds. The ring is close.
The ring is moving to
Massive
life
shotgun here.
No one is inside. Heavy ammo here.
Shotgun pulled here.
Got a
Level
notebook
2.
here. Double tap trigger. I could use that.
Attention. Delivery care package.
Care package coming in. Helmet here. Level 2. Hostile shields here. Level 2. Ultimate accelerant here.
Shield cell here.
Got a hop up here. Select fire. Optics here. Close range.
Got a hop up here. Select fire. Never mind.
Standard stock here. Level 1. Charge rifle here. Shield battery here. I take that back. I should move here.
Let's go this way.
Let's go here. Allons-y.
G7 scout here.
Let's go that way.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
Next ring is far.
Sniper ammo here, if you choose. Body shield here. Level 3.
Dibs.
Helmet here. Level 2.
Got a hop up here. Skull piercer.
Let's explore this way. Hostile right here.
Yes. Anyone need a super ring? And 10 minutes to go.
Something good this way.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Contact.
45 seconds until the enclosure.
Like, what a guy. Oh, I'm not allowed to open these supply bins on the way there. Like, like half me wants to mute his pings, the other half doesn't want to miss stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's a hostile there. I'm just gonna ignore him.
Rings right there. 10 seconds. Rings moving. Let's go. Allons-y. Fence placed. Planting fences. Fence them in, fence them out. Care package coming in. Let's go that way.
Enemy spotted. Enemy over there.
No more stones.
Frag grenade.
Laying fences.
Battling the enemy.
Setting a fence.
Round 3. Beginning ring
Fence
countdown.
in position. Let's go here. Allons-y. I've spotted an enemy.
Recharging my shields. Let's zip line here. Extended heavy mag here. Level 3.
I could use that.
Let's explore this way. Let's go this way.
Thank you.
Your gratitude is graced.
Let's go that way.
Copy that. Let's explore this way. The ring is close.
This area has been traveled already. Care package over here. Optics here. Sniper.
Might be something good this way. Hostile over. Target over there.
Feel that charge in the air? We're inside the ring. We're safe. Reloading. I see an enemy.
Well, I got half an hour left. I'm gonna hop into ranks. Maybe we'll get some more serious players to actually try. I think not that person who left at the beginning. That person was okay. They were just annoying with like the pick up the level 3 shield. Like I wasn't ignoring them. I dimmed it. I play with people all the time where I find level 3, level 4 shields, and they're just like, no, I'm fine with level 1. And you don't even dib it or anything. They ignore it. Do they have me muted or something? Like I can just calm down. If it didn't annoy me, I might have played a little bit better there. It's not like on purpose. He's like going crazy, pinging that thing like it's an enemy, and like so I'm like, okay, so whenever you ping there's an enemy, there isn't one. Gotcha. And then of course, enemy event. Over ranks. Check my phone real quick. Probably 81%. This charger is not as fast as my Samsung for my Oculus. Call it shitty people. God, this is like stolen thousands, swindled thousands. Definitely like past 10,000. And I'm counting like goodwill from this freaking man with his mom. I don't know about his dad, but like when I was hanging out with him, he got money for his mom 1 month, one month for rent, and then blew it partying, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, here you go, here's more." And he had to pay like $700-800 for rent. It was a lot of rent, even back then. Though. But, maybe the rent wasn't that high, but I remember $800 is what she did in quiet. Oh, here you go. In comparison, like my mom would like disown me if she knew like I already smoked. Even if I'm like a good boy and I stay away from bad shit, like so he's a shitty guy, and that's not who like someone else is a little less shitty, but still not the greatest person. Known him to like smoke bongs bedroom with his door wide open, not wide open, but like half closed, like 45-degree angle. I don't know. And son, like I was probably like 11 or I'm sure they did all their kids' childhood. And down the hall, like probably the door is probably like 2-3 meters apart. It's got his door wide open, like clearly like hear it and smell it. Like probably didn't. Like I got the feeling that like his dad like talked about it and just like tell me, oh, yeah, it's fine. Like, sat there with him, had a talk. Just like I was just like thinking at the time like he probably like goes to school and like talks to other kids about it and that's how he finds it. guess it's a step up from like just having them in the room. I'd say like once a kid, I don't know. I'd say like 18, but like for 18 or 19. Like, drinking is that's when it's legal. I think it's 21. But some reports say like as high as like 25 is the best time to start like smoking weed. Because your brain's done developing and it's like years. I don't know if it interferes, it just won't. Yes, it did. But yeah, but like the other things that other guys done is like he owns a personal support worker business. They always kind of came off as like asshole. So it's kind of weird. Like, do you like enjoy helping old people? Like, I don't think once like hanging out with them like he told me a positive story like great something like made me feel good. Yada yada. It's just him like complaining or like. So I think he like saw an opportunity to start a business. Um, so he just like manages all these other personal support work. I don't know if he still does his own shifts or not. Like, time he was doing his own shifts, but very little. Remember? But one thing that bothered, there's two things. One thing that bothered me was when he started first receiving payments from customers, he was putting it into his personal bank account. I guess the bank froze his account because of the volume or transactions or whatever. Like he needed a business account for that. And but I guess he had like two accounts, and the one like his savings, I don't know, two checkings or whatever, was like personal spending account. Like he put his own money. He paid himself first, and then like he went to go pay everyone else. And he, like very sarcastically, was like, "Oh, I feel bad." And he had like a smile on his face. Okay. It just came out. And software. I'm just thinking, like, all you did was just like you're just like managing them and like sending them to clients and like like scheduling shit for them. Like they're out there doing the hard work first. But that wasn't like that was only like half. The other thing was like that was I'm pretty sure that was before. Yeah, it was definitely before I graduated from the BBA program. I was getting close to graduating, and I was mostly just hanging out with this guy with the business because he's gay and he's dating another guy who's like really awesome guy. Other guy like I really vibe with this other guy. Nicest guy ever. He's a nurse. Um, and like I think he was just all like, "Oh yeah, you should get Justin to like do like your office stuff for you. Like you'd be perfect. Like know all the business stuff. Be able to help out." And I don't know if maybe like the guy kind of like jealous or worried or whatever. Like maybe I have no way to like take over the business from him. 100% is, but like maybe I can see him like not liking that like I was more educated. Like he knew how to like do like a startup. Like I didn't go to school for entrepreneurship. Even though I did entrepreneurship, like I knew everything that I can't remember if I did that class. I'm pretty sure it might have been before I started business school. I had my like computer repair business, and I was just like starting out slow and like getting like friends, like family and friends as clients. And, like my first friend who wasn't like super close, that was a client with someone I went to school with, and he just never paid me. He paid me for the parts when he picked it up. He's like, "Oh, I'll pay you for your work next paycheck." He's a big guy, like clearly Probably had a huge grocery bill. He's working full time as a bus driver. They made like over $20 an hour, and I was just like working part time, like minimum wage fast food. Like, come on, like, who's all the kind of dick? It's Travis's. The one of the Travis. There's lots of people who are still friends with him, even though like I don't know if they don't know or they just care. Not people like tell they're not people who are super close. I have a feeling that they do know because like sometimes like I pop on Facebook and see ways that you very close publicly. I don't know if post stuff like that. I always just post everything publicly and then once in a while I'll just like get it like, private. If I have like weirdos showing up and like get rid of comments or stop posting publicly. But like he gets like a decent amount of like interactions and then like sometimes he'll like post like some like virtue signaling shit and like I feel like and he doesn't get any likes and it's like is he not getting any likes because people know he is a piece of shit like he like steals and lies and cheats and shit. Now it's just kind of like oh I work for an employer that donates to good cause. Like I thought it was funny. Like he's like posting about work now that's like at some breakfast fundraiser thing for like 22 years. And I'm just thinking like that's like during that time you were stealing and lying and manipulating people and taking advantage of generosity or your mom would just money at you. When you had everybody's time. Like that whole 800 thing that he like spent partying, like he was working full time. He didn't even need money. Anyways, 225 there. Say another match. Checking it out. Yeah, so like, okay. So yeah, like, finish my story about the guy, the kids that do this. So, like, I was like really eager and excited to like basically be his assistant. Wasn't he didn't like say no and he didn't like say oh yeah I'll think about it. It's like sweet, let's think about it. And then like one day I go over and without talking to me or anything, like we're just like hanging out, like me and him, and I think his like son might have been there, and his boyfriend who's the guy I was supposed to be with, even though I knew the guy was kind of an asshole. So we're all like hanging out, and his son's really friendly. Like he's probably like talking to me about like video games or showing me like YouTube videos or something. Um, yeah, the boyfriend, he was probably like friendly and shit, but like guys a dick, just like kind of like acting like I wasn't there. He's doing stuff on his computer, and he was looking at this like web-based suite where it does like all the your scheduling and stuff. And like I think I was gonna like build him a system that would be like free, and just like have me. And I don't want it to be like a part-time thing. I'd be perfectly fine. Even if it's part-time minimum wage, I wouldn't really complain because it'd be great for my resume. People, who could potentially like get your foot in the door in the business for dicks. Starting to change the growth game. So yeah, it's just like going on and on about like how great this thing was, and I think he like bought it like right there in front of me, and like didn't even if he did like acknowledge that like he wouldn't like need me anymore, it's just like you can just tell like he didn't like, give a rat's ass, but like how like I'd be kind of sad about it. It's like I can't remember the exact details, but if he didn't show me that he didn't care about it, he just like sort of pretended that we never discussed it at all. And there was other shit too that like I wasn't really comfortable with being his friend. Like there was one night, obviously when his son was Ben, his volume wasn't too loud. They're like, I'm pretty sure it was the guy that I didn't like. He's like, oh, let's put on some porn. So like we're watching porn, and I don't know if it was like gay porn. I don't know if it was naked. Like, I remember some of it was straight. Um, they're just like talking about how like weird it was or gross or laughing at like the stupid plots or something. I was just getting kind of uncomfortable. I kind of got the feeling that like maybe he was only friends with me because like he wanted. Never really felt comfortable. When I became friends with him, that was a long time ago. It was through someone I worked at Harvard. And I'm pretty sure she was friends with the guy that this guy dated. So again, like, people seem to be friends with this boyfriends more than yeah. Like one thing that really bothered me was like um. So like I started smoking weed when I was 18. Pretty sure I was 18. I was in college. And I had my own place. Sweeping the floor at Harvey's, and like I found a joint on the floor in the dining room. So I didn't show anyone at work, but I took it home and showed Travis, who's my roommate at the time before, really turned into a huge prick. Showed it to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And so we smoked it. According to him, it was just it wasn't like laced or anything. But like I had that on this like first time, and just like it was a really nice experience. Um, like I don't know where it came from, but like I had this like image in my mind's eye of like just like sitting on a chair inside a nice home on like a ranch or farm or something on like a nice summer day and like sitting at like a front door and like this this weird image pops in my head. Big porches that wrap around the house and like feed tall grass or weed or something. The other thing that happened was obviously besides like getting the munchies, um, when I moved my hand, it wasn't like fluid. Like everything was like super low frame rate and like stuttering, and it was like there's like a strobe light or something. But yeah, so back to the guys kind of. So my parents weren't very cool about it, so like I had to be discreet and go out for walks and bike rides, and I also mostly picked up smoking cigarettes to mask the smell. Weed. They hated cigarettes, but they hated weed. My mom got some weird problem. But, let's take it. I got the match. Stop. So I got, oh, no, I shouldn't. I got 10 minutes. Shut up. So I'll just, when we find the match, I'll just turn on the PlayStation. So yeah, like, um, didn't feel comfortable around my parents. Had to like be out of the house as much as possible, and so I'd go on walks and bike rides. And there was two places actually. One time I went down to Breakwater Park near KGH, and a creep actually like started talking to me. I thought he was just like lonely and wanted someone to talk to, but he sat down, talked to me, and like touched my leg. And I just got up and like walked out. I was like, oh, and like I was like disgusted and mad and like kind of like upset with myself that I didn't like punch him or something. But I'm glad that I didn't. Sort of like conflicted, like when you're really angry, part of you wants to do something. Part of you probably doesn't want to do something, or at the very least, part of you knows that you shouldn't do something. I was always a gentle giant, like growing up. Like not always a gentle giant, but like I wouldn't hurt a fly on purpose. I got mad a couple times. Didn't know my own strength. I only ever really punched someone and like tried to like really hurt them when after like they started like, shoving me like full force, like hard enough to like make me fall backwards and like hit my head, sort of like that old guy who got pushed by the cop. And the cop didn't even push him that hard. He fell back. I'm talking about like this big, like 300. I don't know, it's 300. I can't remember how tall he was. Big, overweight kid, just like using like his huge body weight. Punched him like 3 times in the face, and it was kind of sort of felt like in dreams where like it's like your hands are like really slow or heavy, and you like can't punch things. I think maybe it's just like I didn't really get into fights, so maybe I didn't have that much arm strength. I hope I didn't hit him too hard. Yeah. Anyways, back to like whole smoking thing. So like I'd go to like Breakwater Park. There's that guy, and then there's also another time, might be a couple times that I saw some weirdos at. Can't remember the name of it, but it's along like King Street and then goes up to Bath Road and goes by like the train tracks and there's apartments on Bath Road and it's actual like conservation area. Like one time on the way home from work, I think I like stopped at this tree and like started like to smoke a joint and was gonna smoke a cigarette and then go. And someone like came from the park area and saw me at the tree and like did a circle around me. And then I don't know if they did it more than once, but then they like left. And I was just like, that really fucking creepy. And I just put my shit out and left. And like, so I was talking to this asshole about like stuff like that. And he's just like, oh yeah, those places, that's where like, that's normal. Like, nothing wrong with that. That's where gay people go to find other gay people to have sex with. And I'm just thinking like, it's not normal. Like you can be gay and still like want to like date people and not like go fuck strangers in public parks. Like that's fucking that's how like like there's a lot of stigma around gay people and like HIV and unsafe sex and like so I guess this guy is one of those people where the stigma and the stereotypes could sort of be true. Like I hope for fuck's sakes, like he didn't go out there and do that kind of shit. But he was just like, oh yeah. It's like you don't understand. You're not gay. I'm just like, okay. Oh, this is yeah. But yeah, like so he's an asshole, and I worry because he's an employer, and so he's gonna have a lot of power. And like when I was just like randomly be like, oh what's he up to? I checked his Twitter. He's like tweeting about how his staff like complains about how much he posts to social media. I'm like, oh god, sounds like every like bad thing I imagine the guy could be up to too. He's just like brushing it off. He's like, what are they talking about? Like, it's been so long since I posted to YouTube, and it's like posting to YouTube isn't the same as social media. And like, he clearly said social media, and like, you saw the guy, like, he tweeted like 100 times a day or whatever, retweet, whatnot. But I was just sort of like criticizing him on his tweets and being like, oh, I feel bad for his workers, and like sharing my story and whatnot. And so apparently his like sister popped in and like started like trash talking me and calling me a loser and saying I was stupid because I blocked him, and then I was tweeting to him expecting him to be reading my tweets, and I'm just like, huh? If you read my tweets, they're about, most of them are about him. Like some of them are to him, and the ones to him are sort of like when I'm like, oh, I could give him some constructive criticism that if he took, he might actually make his whole internet personality YouTube shit like a little bit better. He's never tweeted about me. Travis has tweeted about me a couple times. You can tell he's just obnoxious douchebag, like kind of guy who I don't even know if it was his two buddies on YouTube commenting or if he was just using their accounts, but he was saying like stupid shit like I gotta go. He's saying like if a person falls and hits their head, it's 100% not their friends, not even their family's responsibility to get that person to the hospital, even if they have a serious head injury and they don't even know they have to go to the hospital, and they're a danger to themselves and everyone around them. I wasn't a danger to everyone around them. I was a danger to myself, and he acted like I was a danger to everyone around me and tried to get me fired and failed. But, yeah. Anyways, Travis has tweeted about me, and you can tell like he's vile and full of hate, and that same old guy who steals from people and swindles and then turns around and tells everyone else that like the people he made victims out of were actually the bad people, and he's the victim. He's that kind of guy. The other guy with the business, not so much, and his sister, a little bit like Travis, but it was just like a day or a day and a half of that, and then now just stopping. And she was saying I was lying about her brother, and I think her brother might have been like, "Oh, he's actually not lying." So, or maybe he's just like, just don't engage him." Either way, like I think they talked, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna ignore him now." So I'm gonna ignore her and him for a while. And apparently their mother's dying from cancer, and like I had no clue. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't just go attack someone online who's died from cancer or his mother's dying from cancer. It's like that's not why I'm doing it, and I had no idea because the guy's like posting like 100 times a day. It's like business as usual, very like happy and chipper, and like doing YouTube projects and whatnot. Like not my fault. I would have like had like a pinned tweet and maybe like a GoFundMe or something. Not him.